from the other end.
I am intrigued by how this particular situation has traveled. I'm surprised. I'm really, really surprised. Yesterday I was on Reverend Intimfojo's X page, and he says the mighty minority. There. I'm sleeping there because I'm waiting for I'm waiting for a little bit more. He says the minority has been vindicated, and he attached an article to it which only confirmed that yes, the flights came, stayed, and then left. I don't get it. I don't know what further evidence the article contained for him to say that they had been vindicated.
But NACOG is threatening to arrest him. That's according to the new publisher. There are those who say this is what Reverend Intimfojo was looking for. And then if NACOG goes ahead to do that, it means they've played into his hands. They've played into the NPP's hands. It is possible, but why is he looking for that? Well, NACOG says they want the evidence you have. Come and give it to us. Let's investigate. It is, a state agency. So if you're not doing that, it is a security agency, and it is maybe able or capable to invite you. You said it seems that is what he wants.
You mean why would Reverend want that?
Why would Reverend want them to arrest him?
I suppose for the optics. Listen, if you are in the minority and you can play to that card of being under persecution, intense persecution, because he himself. He said, in fact, I was listening to him on the platform. He says, I don't mind if you arrest me or you assassinate me. He said those words. And the comments were like, oh, boss, please. We're going too far now. I mean, in the realm of assassination, I think that... Assassination or come inside. No, Charlie. And it's like, be calming down. For me, what I find problematic, and when we put our videos out on YouTube, shout out to all of you who go and watch. We're racking up the views. Thank you. And you leave some very interesting comments. I mean, somebody took strong exception to my view that Reverend Intimfojo has successfully planted some doubts in my brain. He said, this is why we don't give women the opportunity. Oh! Gentlemen, can we be calming down? Oh, Charlie, any least opportunity, then they lump us together. Sarah, just off with us. I'm saying, hey, you women, please. I represent Helen Appiah-Ampofo and Helen Appiah-Ampofo.
And not women.
And you leave the women out of it. I'm sure that other women had varying degrees of opinion.
Of Helen Appiah-Ampofo.
But
that's going too far.
That's going too far. Listen, you're allowed to have your opinion, as am I. When I mentioned that some seeds of doubt had been planted, I was specifically referring to some slight discrepancy in flight number and landing times. I mean, initially the communique from the presidency was that those flights had not actually landed before we got further and better particulars. Regardless, that still does not convince me that there was cocaine on the flights. I can have doubts about certain elements, but still we don't know what cocaine.
I listened to the president's spokesperson on another network last night, and he spoke about requests that have been made to Speaker Bagbin for the release of the good reverend,
right?
For him to be investigated.
It should be available.
Some questions.
So like we saw with Mustafa Yusuf, Honorable, and
yes. And indeed, Felix says specifically that it is his wish that question and answer session with the Reverend would be recorded and put out in the public domain, just so that everybody knows what really, went on in the interrogation room. And I also realized that he was trying very hard not to use the word interrogate, that they are going to interrogate the honorable member, because then that would also raise other questions. It will open door for all the people who want to play with the law to start playing with the law, and I think he's trying to avoid that. But I really would be keen on that story. I want to know, really, is there really something that we are all missing?
Well,
this lone voice. Should we be listening, or there's another another matter that we cannot tell? I mean, I really would be interested in.
I see.
In knowing and hearing about this. And as he said, let's just hope that the speaker releases. I'm told that I heard that the letter or the request was made, I think, on Thursday, and they are still waiting for a response from Speaker Bagwin on that request. So, barring any disagreement from Speaker Bagwin, we are likely to see the good reverend, the ranking member, asked some questions on the issue, what he knows, what documentation he has. Like I keep saying, maybe there's some truth to it. Maybe somebody is also doing something on the blind side of the president. Maybe somebody has really orchestrated something that, I mean, the minority was able to catch, something on.
Something on, yes.
I mean, there are questions that we should ask.
And
yes.
and make no bones about it. Persons who are engaged in drug trafficking and money laundering or whatever, illicit goods smuggling, they are, when we talk about organized crime, we say organized for a reason.
Yes.
It's not easy to go and uncover these kinds of crimes. Sometimes there's a lot of tact involved, a lot of, shall I say, you have to be tactical to get that information. It's not going to be openly revealed to you. So we'll see.
Which is why, again, the ranking member on Foreign Affairs Committee, this publication about they are seeking diplomatic assistance and all of that, it is not necessary.
It has political undertones.
Just do the thing.
Yeah.
Bring us the results. So if it is some documentation you are requesting from the foreign mission, do that. Obtain the document. Come out with it. Organize a proper press conference and make these disclosures. We are good to go. But you see, you have taken them, okay, you say you are seeking diplomatic assistance to what? Obtain documentation. The story is on page 8 of the paper, of the custodian newspaper. And it's a full page. It's a full page. It says that they've written to the diplomatic community in Ghana to show interest in the ongoing controversy involving some flights which traveled. I mean,
what does that signal to you, honestly, Sixtus, from where you sit? Because, check out the optics. Reverend Tim Forjo calls a presser on the 1st of April to allege. In fact, he was quite strong on that allegation that some cocaine and some currency had gone back and forth between Ghana and Gran Canaria. Then on the 2nd of April, he then writes to the committee of which he's the ranking member, the Defense Committee in Parliament. Would you rather not have done it the reverse? You write to the committee if it seems as though there is some leg dragging or you're not getting, or feet dragging, you're not getting that information, then you call a presser. But to call the presser on the 1st of April.
I think this was my very first submission on this matter when we started
That's
this.
right.
I think the very first day we started the discussions on this, I said that, look, it was obvious to me that they had not done enough digging before coming to the press. And you see, and knowing the sensitivity of the matter, and in fact the fact that government can deny whatever bare mere allegations you raise, a lot more should have gone into it. And recall I also said that if the side knew it did not have enough to come to the press, then that presser shouldn't have been organized, number one, and it shouldn't have been addressed by the ranking member, number two.
Somebody else could have addressed that.
Allow the communicators, allow them to go to town with it. Whilst you gather, if your argument is that you don't want the fire to die out, because I think they came out 2 days after the plane had allegedly flown out of the jurisdiction. That was when they came out. In fact, I started seeing that chat on social media way before the press conference was organized. So I think that they should have done a lot more behind the scenes before coming to the press. You have come to the press. They have dared you. You have not responded to the dare. And now...
And in fact, you're still refuting any evidence that's put forth by government. You say it's false, it's fake, it's...
Without presenting anything else. You who raised the allegations. And now your colleague on the Foreign Affairs Committee has written to diplomatic community to do what?
And
For
all
what?
throughout your
And
communique
you have still
on
not
social media,
substantiated
you are now
your allegations.
using the phrase or the tag cocaine abine. What kind of optics do you want us to infer from this? You've gone everywhere but to the security agencies to present what you have. What do you want us to infer from this?
I think that would just seem a deliberate calculation to leave the administration with a certain tag. I'll give you another one. I think you even read a similar headline. If you go to the front page of the Custodian newspaper, it says, "Culture of silence and brute force under Mahama. 3 journalists arrested in 3 months. Many houses raided." Culture of silence. What's a culture? What's a culture? In 3 months, the administration is 3 months old. I'm not saying we should wait for the administration to do harm to so many of us. And God is my witness. I have condemned attacks on journalists on this same platform time and again. Just last week, I was talking about the Joy FM guy, Latif.
Yeah.
Latif's case.
That's
and
right.
I said, no, it is the way the case is dragging in court. And in fact, it was based on a story that said that the AG's department was not helping the matter because the prosecutor was almost always absent at trial anytime the case was called. That was the newspaper report.
Right.
And I went on to then, dish out my peace of mind on the matter. So I am not saying it is all right for 3 journalists to be arrested in 3 months. I'm not saying that. Let no man misquote me or misunderstand me.
Right.
I'm not saying that we should clap for the government for arresting these 3 journalists, even though we still don't understand the stories behind these people. The first person that is mentioned is what's his name? Akatechi was the name.
What's Akatachi?
Efrifa
Efrifa.
Okatechi.
Oketechi.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. What is your problem? You have corrected me. I've said thank you. You are looking at me.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you. You see, and that story was all over social media.
That's right.
A lot of us were confused about it. And it died off like that. I'm not sure the man himself has told this story. When the Ghana Web guy, not Ghana Web, the modern Ghana guy, my friend, the guy who was arrested by national security, it became a big issue. We all did stories on that matter. And in fact, eventually we got the guy to speak. Let's follow these stories and not just make it look like there's some propaganda somewhere to label an administration with a certain tag. 3 months, and we've started drug peddling. What again? Money laundering. Culture of silence. I continue.